Hello everybody and welcome back to 2K14 Universe. I'm your host Stitch and you are watching Friday Night SmackDown.
Making his way to the ring from El Paso, Texas, weighing 228 pounds, Guerrero.
In case you're wondering why I hesitated a little bit when saying 2K there, I went to call this 2K24, which I mean, I guess 14, 24, I can see how I made that in my head, but I don't really know how 13 hasn't even come, 23 hasn't come out yet. I don't really know how maybe by the time I post this video, maybe 23 will have come out. The funny joke there is that I'm really behind on uploading and recording. Hilarious. Anyway, we're kicking things off here on SmackDown with Eddie Guerrero, who I believe is in the midst of a rivalry with Rey Mysterio. We've been told that at the upcoming pay-per-view Over the Limit for Friday Night SmackDown next Sunday, if Rey Mysterio is unable to win the #1 contenders 4-way for Sheamus's European Championship later on tonight, a very unique match, and I will leave it at that for now. You can obviously scroll down to the description if you really want to know who's in that 4-way, but it's a very unique match, and that is honestly the best way to word that. But if Rey Mysterio is not victorious in that 4-way, then he will face Eddie Guerrero one-on-one at Over the Limit next Sunday.
And approaching the ring from Mexico City, Mexico, weighing 196 pounds, Cara.
Here tonight, Rey's former friend faces off against his current friend in a singles matchup. As I said before, Rey, obviously, he's got a pretty high stakes match coming his way later on tonight, facing off in that 4-way contenders match for the European Championship. Rey Mysterio, as I was going to say before I realized that his entrance was finishing, of course, a very decorated superstar in the past here on SmackDown. He is a former United States champion, a former Intercontinental champion, ending both the longest at that time reign of both the the Intercontinental and United States championships. He's also a former Cruiserweight champion / light heavyweight champion. Rey Mysterio has had his fair share of championship successes. And admittedly, these tag teams that he gets himself into, they're not really where he finds that success, in my personal opinion. Rey Mysterio, of course, also notably has had a brilliant one-on-one World Heavyweight Championship with The Undertaker in the past, as a good taste of just what he can do when given the opportunity. So tonight, don't count Rey Mysterio out, but as I mentioned before, that fatal 4-way later on tonight, very strange match indeed, and I do wonder what the game plan is for 2 out of 4 of that match. Of course, okay, I'm going to go ahead and talk about this match now, because entrances aren't happening, which means I have time to actually speak. So if you haven't already seen it, if you're waiting in suspense to find out what it is, allow me to tell you. Oh, got a little electrical noise going on in my ear right now. I think that's fine. I think that might just be the actual... I think the game is glitching. I don't actually think that's... because the lighting was really weird on their tights. What the hell is going on? I can't wait to be done with the PS3. It's like, it's not even about, like, finishing up, like, insert game that I'm playing now. It's like, I can't wait to be done with this console. I'm gonna just have to hope that by the time I want to record some other PS3 games in the future, that the PS3 emulator that's currently in production is just better. But yes, anyway, sorry, so this 4-way that I keep going to talk about and then things keep happening. Rey Mysterio is set to face off against CM Punk. That sounds pretty standard, doesn't it? But then you throw into the mix the great Khali, and on top of that you throw in Steiner. As I said before, a very unique match. I don't really think there is another way to word that. And it's gonna be something, I imagine. You know, it's gonna be a spectacle of a match in a way. Eddie Guerrero with the 3 amigos as he now goes up for his traditional frog splash finisher, and he gets all of that one on Sin Cara, and I believe with that will come the end of the match, if I had to guess Yep, there you go. It's quick, it's decisive, and it is the end of the match. Eddie Guerrero victorious over Sin Cara. Very quick, very effective. This is a man who really wants to get his hands on the European Championship that Rey Mysterio could be one step closer to. So if I was Eddie I didn't mean to press X there. So if I was Rey Mysterio, if I was Eddie Guerrero, I'd be rooting for Rey to win that 4-way later on tonight, because if Rey wins that 4-way and maybe beats Sheamus down the line for the European Championship, I know that may sound a little crazy in your head, but Rey's done some pretty impressive things in the past. Perhaps Eddie will be one step closer to the European Championship regardless. Well, anyway, we move on. I don't actually remember what's up next, so we'll just keep going. Well. What a great clip.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, standing 7 feet tall, weighing 441 pounds, one half of the World Tag Team Champions, The Big Show.
That's right, The Big Show. How could I forget? One half of the World Tag Team Champions, The Big Show, is set to face off against the man that returned last week and shocked Big Show's tag team partner in the ring. I'm talking about Kane. Big Show obviously attacking Undertaker as he was set to face off against Chris Jericho, and really thought that that was going to be, you know, a decisive match between Jericho and Undertaker. I think we all kind of expected, you know, quick work to be made of Jericho, but Undertaker unable to make it to the ring after being attacked backstage. Sorry, I got really spooked there.
And approaching the ring, weighing 323 pounds, Kane.
This crowd could be a little more lively. This is his second appearance since returning, and they're already sick of him. Kane, of course, made his very surprising return to Friday Night SmackDown in the aid of The Undertaker, who I believe is his brother. And now we look to see if perhaps they can earn themselves a tag title shot. There's been no comment on whether or not they even want to team up to win the tag titles together, but if Kane can beat Big Show tonight, we have been told that they will be given a shot next Sunday at Over the Limit. So here we go, Big Show and Kane locking up, two absolute giants in this matchup, and we're going to be getting a bit of a tonal shift in the match that follows this one, because after this we've got Bret the Hart, the Intercontinental Champion, set to face off against Curt Hennig. And I've been told that apparently Edge and Christian have been scheming about the idea of attacking Bret Hart tonight. Now, of course, I don't recall if this has been mentioned before, because, of course, it's been like 2 months since I last recorded this. But Bret Hart has said in various occasions that after his match against Edge, which I believe happened, after his match against Edge, he has a lot of respect for Edge, but not so very much for Christian. And, of course, it feels like he's really trying to plant the seeds and cause some friction between the two. And they've definitely had their issues with Bret Hart when it comes to who's the greatest thing to come from Canada. Very interesting reason for people to be feuding, I know. And so I'd definitely keep an eye out in that matchup up next, as Bret Hart may have bitten off more than he can chew. He's definitely outnumbered in that situation, which leads you to wonder why he would want to, you know, badmouth these guys and set himself up like that. But, I mean, maybe he has a plan. This could really benefit Curt Hennig, though, for sure. One half of the NWO Blue, as I call them, the SmackDown team of NWO, which is Six Pac and Curt Hennig. Do wonder if that could be a huge victory for Hennig tonight, especially with Edge and Christian being a potential force involved in that matchup.
Setting it up. Oh my gosh, his neck and back and shoulders driven right into the ground. Still not through.
And down on that leg. Kane has been very impressive. I mean, he absolutely destroyed Chris Jericho last week. There is no denying the example that he made out of one half of the tag team champions. Oh.
Ouch. Just stepping on the back right on the kidneys.
I don't think either of these guys have kidneys.
Oh, man. He got
Although they'd have pretty big knees.
Oh, no, look at those eyes. Evil thoughts have to be
Kane
running
absolutely
through his
tearing
mind.
apart the announce table here as Big Show is up to his feet, and this is a dangerous spot for these two to be in. Could we see a count out conclude this matchup? I hope not. It's never a very satisfying finish. Well, Kane manages to reset the count out there as these two Goliaths are going at it. And let's not forget, Big Show did make a bit of an example out of Undertaker backstage last week on SmackDown, but it definitely came with a fight. But what I'm saying here is that Big Show can definitely hold his own against someone of supernatural proportions like an Undertaker or a Kane. Kane seems to be looking to take this one back into the ring. Free up to a count of 6. And we have ourselves another count reset. Big Show is up to his feet. Kane struggling to get up, and Big Show going in for a tackle there, but immediately dropped by the Big Red Machine. And Kane, is he mocking Big Show? Whatever he was looking to do, that didn't quite work out. Big Show. Fans were not a fan of that, as Big Show is calling for that choke slam, and I guess he had a change of mind there after seeing what Kane did. Knockout punch, the WMD, that has finished a lot of Big Show's matches in the past, but not right now. Show with a big boot as he goes in for another cover attempt. Kane able to reach the ropes there. Might have been the only thing that kept him in this matchup. What a move there by Kane. My God, you don't see a tilt-a-whirl on someone the size of Big Show too often. Well, maybe in this universe you do, but you shouldn't normally. Big Show catches Kane off guard, and now here comes an absolutely massive choke slam. Cover attempt here. Kane with a kick out. Big Show is making an example out of Kane right now.
If there's a boot in this business that can shatter someone's face on contact, we just saw it. How much more? How much more are you willing to pay to win this match?
Striking away at Kane. It is taking a lot of fight to keep Kane down, but Big Show is really not letting up. What a crossbody. Again, another kick out by Kane, and a second time here. Big Show reeling up that WMD punch. Knocks Kane out center of the ring. Decisive win for one half of the World Tag Team Champions, and that means that Undertaker and Kane will not be challenging for the Tag Team Championship next week at Over the Limit. As for who will, I don't know. But I know that it won't be this recently seemingly reunited brotherhood of The Undertaker and Kane, which is a bit of a shame, honestly. I'd love to see how those two could perform as a tag team. I can't really picture Undertaker in a tag team, but hey, I think we're going to have to, because I don't think they're going to let up, not after the example that Undertaker was used to be made out of backstage last week on SmackDown, and not after seeing what just happened to Kane. Maybe Undertaker will be back in action next week. Maybe he'll be able to take care of this Big Show problem. But I'll tell you what, Jericho was smart when he aligned himself with this beast. So we move towards our next match. As I said before, a bit of a tonal shift here, as up next, Bret Hart is set to face off against Curt Hennig, non-title. Alright, we are back here on SmackDown, and what an interesting little scene we just saw backstage between Edge and Christian.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, representing the New World Order, from Robbinsdale, Minnesota, weighing 257 pounds, Curt, Hennig.
Well, he's been off to a little bit of a rough start here on SmackDown. Admittedly, NWO Blue really haven't been as successful as NWO Red, if you can necessarily call NWO Red successful. Of course, Shawn Michaels suffered another tough loss to The Rock. Mostly those have been Kevin Nash, but they've been heavily pursuing the WWE Championship over on Raw, whilst the NWO here on SmackDown. Obviously, Six-Pac is in possession of the Cruiserweight Championship. That could be at risk when Robert Scorpio faces him for the championship next Sunday at Over the Limit. Scorpio, the #1 contender right now, of course. But we'll see if perhaps Curt Hennig can pull off an impressive win tonight. I gotta say, if he can beat Bret Hart tonight, obviously, I don't think that should just put him in instant contention over Edge and Christian. This whole situation with her develop, assuming they leave Bret alone tonight, that is, would be interesting.
Approaching the ring, from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, weighing 234 pounds, the Intercontinental Champion, Bret the Hitman Hart.
I think the most fascinating thing about this situation, though, when it comes to Edge and Christian, is the fact that you take a look at the language used. Of course, Edge has suffered a few losses recently, losing to Six-Pac, losing to Bret Hart. He's not exactly been on a roll, so to speak. And now you look towards this matchup against Christian, someone who has always been a little bit red-hot with momentum. You know, take a look at their 2 World Championship successes. Christian won the Royal Rumble, he became WWE Champion at WrestleMania, outlasting Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Batista in one match to win the WWE Championship. He ended up holding that championship for at least a few months before dropping it, whilst Edge's only world title reign to his name is the World Heavyweight Championship for a few seconds before getting cashed in on by Jack Swagger, and he never won the World Heavyweight Championship again. So when you take a look at the two, as simple as it is, Christian has always been statistically the better man, which is why he was able to make that statement earlier. But of course, they're going to have to keep their nose out of this matchup, and of course, Edge, you could kind of tell he was livid. He didn't like the way he was being spoken to. Obviously, he's not going to love the fact that their tag team is clearly falling apart right now. Edge and Christian nowhere near becoming the World Tag Team Champions right now. They very much, I think, should have a right to be at least top contenders for Guerrero's Tag Team Championship, but admittedly, they haven't really done anything as a tag team since losing the WWE Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania 3. And we can't forget how lengthy the reign of tag team champions was for those two. That was an incredible reign to see come to an end. They held it from WrestleMania 2 all the way through to WrestleMania 3. They did have a little bit of a spurt where they lost the Road Warriors, but they got the titles back and retired the Road Warriors, and that alone, to me, says exactly how good Edge and Christian really are as a tag team. So to see them perhaps in their final, moments as a tag team now, we might have literally seen their last tag team match back at WrestleMania. Although I believe they have had tag team matches since then. Yeah, they faced off against Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara, and I think they lost. No, that match came into a 20-minute time limit draw, that's right. I believe Edge has lost multiple singles matches since then, whilst I don't believe Christian has been in action very much. But he will be next week if they can honor leaving Bret alone tonight. Then they will be rewarded with a match against each other. It sounds insane when you word it like that. But the winner will be the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. They will get a shot at Bret Hart just 2 days after fighting their tag team partner. And it sounds like it could be very trying on their relationship. It sounds like it could be very tough, but there is such a huge reward. I can't stress to you enough how valuable the Intercontinental Championship is. In this universe especially, I think we have really seen a lot of prestige built on that championship. Perhaps some more recent reigns haven't quite lived up to the standard that this championship once had, but don't let that mean that this championship is worthless, because it most certainly isn't. Both of the Miz's Intercontinental Championship reigns, spectacular. Rey Mysterio's, incredible. Booker T's. Unfortunately, it was very short-lived the first time around. I'm trying to think who else there is now. Of course, you know what, I'm just going to start saying his name again. John Morrison literally held the championship so long he walked out of the company with the championship. And upon its resurrection, Miz had another great reign as an Intercontinental Champion. Lost the title to, I believe he lost it to either Booker T or I think he lost it to Booker T. And Booker T had a really good reign. There's really no underestimating that championship reign that Booker T had. And of course, The Rock also had a pretty great reign, although that was very short-lived. And it was only after that I think we've really started to see that championship die down a little bit. It might have actually been The Rock and then Booker T. I think that was the right way around, because Booker then lost it to Cena, who had a pretty underwhelming reign, and so did Justin Gabriel. But I think Bret is the right man at the right time to really get this championship back on track, and I think this is forever now known as one of the most prestigious championships in all of the WWE. Ooh, big power driver there by Bret Hart. Won the championship in, I believe, a 6-man ladder match at WrestleMania. It was hung high above the ring. And now Bret going in for the sharpshooter, and Mr. Perfect, sorry, Curt Hennig tapping out very quickly there. That was a very short-lived matchup between Hennig and Hart. I feel like that one could have definitely gone a lot longer.
Here is your winner, Bret the Hitman Hart.
Wow, what a match. What an effort by these combatants.
Well, a big congrats to the Intercontinental Champion Bret Hart, and it looks like Edge and Christian are going to honor that contract that they were given, that opportunity to become Intercontinental Champion. I mean, for Edge, I suppose, you know, even though he's clearly the one that's very up in arms right now, very livid, he's going to get to take out those frustrations on Christian next week, especially after some of the things Christian's trying to fill his head with. And the winner will get to face Bret Hart, which could be an opportunity to prove himself once again. And of course, for Christian, it's a championship he's not yet had an opportunity at. So we'll see what happens next week when Edge and Christian face off against each other. But speaking of next week, Over the Limit is next Sunday, and we are going to find out who is going to be challenging Sheamus for the European Championship next Sunday. Up next.
The following fatal four-way contest is a Falls Count Anywhere match. Making his way to the ring from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 222 pounds, CM Punk.
What a superstar. So beloved that these fans are completely behind him.
Oh, sorry, I don't know. I just really spaced out there. CM Punk making his way down to the ring right now. He is not exactly looking too thrilled, and I guess in a way that makes a lot of sense. You get told you got to set foot in the ring with Rey Mysterio, a man who has been a thorn in his side in the past for quite a long time, as well as, of course, the great Khali, who knocked CM Punk off not that long ago, and Scott Steiner, who even if you haven't ever set foot in the ring with before, just one look at that genetic freak and you can tell that he's not normal. This should be a very good four-way matchup in a lot of ways. I do think there's two people in this match that maybe would deter the fans a little bit from this one, but I have a feeling this is going to be interesting, especially because this is your standard Fatal 4-Way. I know we get a lot of elimination matches in this matchup. This is a standard Fatal 4-Way matchup, Falls Count Anywhere rules, which means this match can end anywhere at any time.
And approaching the ring from India, weighing 347 pounds, the Great Khali.
The negotiations that led to this match are quite interesting. The new SmackDown general manager, Paul Heyman, was approaching both CM Punk and Rey Mysterio for conversation. Rey Mysterio, of course, hanging out with his good buddy, the Great Khali, backstage. at the time, Heyman said, you know, I'm putting you in a contenders match for the European Championship. Going to revisit your old rivalry with CM Punk, who I think is a top contender as well. And I want to see which one of you two can come out with a shot at the Intercontinental Championship. But the great Khali obviously decided to jut in here and say, I beat CM Punk last time he was in a match. I think I should be given an opportunity over CM Punk. So Heyman then, of course, said, hey, we can make it a triple threat match, the more the merrier, at which point Steiner was just simply in the vicinity, and he's a very impressive man. He thought, what about a four-way match? What about a giant, just an absolute monster, mixed in the ring with a technical specialist, also in the ring with a high flyer, and to top it all off, a genetic freak. We got ourselves a real mix of everything in this four-way matchup, and I'm very interested to see who locks up with who and how this one ends up resolving.
And from Detroit, Michigan, weighing 276 pounds, Steiner.
Big Bad Booty Daddy, they call him. Scott Steiner making his way down. And if you don't love Scott Steiner, there's probably something wrong. You should check your pulse. Scott Steiner. I believe this is only, I think, his second match since making his debut here on SmackDown, that is, I was about to say. Not his second match ever. I believe this is his second match here on SmackDown, as I believe he, I want to say he bested the Ultimate Warrior here on SmackDown. That might have actually been over on Superstars. I'm really trying to dig deep in my noggin here and remember things that happened a very long time ago in my defense. But then again, as I like to think, assuming you guys haven't just been obsessively keeping up with everything and waiting until I came back, I'd like to think that this has all kind of been out of everyone's mind for a while too. And I'm not the only one that's having to really think to remember some of this stuff. Obviously, I appreciate if you guys did remember, I don't.
Their opponent, from San Diego, California, weighing 175 pounds,
Rey Mysterio, I think, honestly, I know it sounds a little crazy, but he's got to be my personal odds-on favorite to win this match. As I said before, this guy is very decorated, a former multi-time champion, US Intercontinental Cruiserweight. I think European would really complete that little collection Rey's got going. I don't believe he's held that championship in the past, so I'd love to see him win it again. But of course, for CM Punk, this match is very important, very personal, as I believe he's the one that lost the title to Sheamus in the first place. And of course, for Punk, this is quite a high-pressure matchup. You know, he's got a lengthy, old-time rival in Rey Mysterio opposing him in that ring. He's got the man that he most recently suffered a loss to in the great Khali. And, I mean, he doesn't really have a beef with Big Papa Pump, but I'm sure if he spoke enough, he would. Let's go Rey, let's go Punk chants going on here, so the fans are making it quite clear who their favorites are, and I imagine that's probably the favorites of a lot of people that would be tuning into this matchup. Tuning in. Could you imagine? Imagine if we still had to tune TVs to like YouTube. Oh dear. It's funny we still use that expression as well. The winner of this match gets a European Championship opportunity next Sunday, and as well as that next Sunday, we'll be seeing a World Heavyweight Championship clash between Triple H and the former WWE Champion JBL, who was given an opportunity at the World Heavyweight Championship upon his return. Sorry, his arrival, he'd never been here before, to SmackDown. The former WWE Champion, of course, set a record as the longest reigning WWE Champion in history, beating out The Miz's previous record. So it's only natural that with that would come another opportunity for Mr. Layfield. We'll see if he can beat Triple H next Sunday for the World Heavyweight title. Speaking of Triple H, last week we saw Triple H and Cena successfully team up and they defeated the team of JBL and Mark Henry, which is a very unholy alliance. Honestly, I think both of those two are some very deadly alliances there. But in the end, it was Triple H and Cena that came out with the victory, and so tonight Cena will be facing off against Triple H, but a friendly fire, as this could end up altering the World Heavyweight Championship match into perhaps a multi-man match. Nothing is quite final yet, and there is still, you know, 9 days until Over the Limit. Maybe that match can see a change. Nice takedown there by Rey Mysterio, but very quick on his wits there is CM Punk, and that's really his advantage in this matchup, is that man. I wouldn't even, I know I kind of refer to him more as like technical when I was talking about this match. I kind of just call CM Punk like an all-arounder, you know? Rey Mysterio's got his specialties in his speed and his high flying and big pop of pump. Scott Steiner, he's just big, he's strong, he's dangerous, everything he does is gonna hurt. Rey's got to stay on the offense if he wants to keep Scott Steiner down. And of course, the Great Khali, well, he's just big. There's not really a lot more to that. He's just very tall. But he did defeat CM Punk in their recent encounter. And Rey, going for a cover here on the outside, Punk very quick to react to that, interestingly enough. Really keeping his ears about him, you know, just making sure he hears that referee count. And Khali, oh, I was going to say, might cost Punk the match and himself the match. What the hell, Khali? Oh my god. Scott Steiner going for a cover here on the outside, and Rey very quick to kick out. Action-packed things going on all around the arena right now, as is to be expected in this kind of a matchup. Any man's game right now. And the thing about this four-way matchup is that it can end in an instant, and it almost did there.
There's more in their arsenal, I promise you that. I don't know what it is, but they'll find it. Good move, though. CM Punk won't quit. I can't believe the motor in this guy.
I thought he said mother. CM Punk won't quit. I can't believe the mother in this guy.
Man, that was close. I thought Punk had it.
Comment down below if you think CM Punk would be a good mother to you. Just to you. Don't worry about anyone else. Would CM Punk make a good mother for you?
What a hellaciously physical match these gladiators have put each other through. The intensity of this.
The powerhouses are very much in control of this four-way right now. Scott Steiner going for a cover. Khali might want to react on that, and he does. But I think Rey did manage to kick out all by... Oh. Steiner, look out. Oh, God. The steps. The steps. Oh, my God. The way his whole body twisted. Khali into a cover. Has he done it? Yes. The great Khali, of all four people, is the #1 contender to the European Championship. Perhaps Jinder Mahal was holding this guy back. Oh no, not this animation. Khali suddenly able to bend his knees better than we've ever seen him before. Bouncing all over the place. Well, the great Khali will meet Sheamus for the European Championship next Sunday. That should be a very unique match. That's definitely, I think, the one out of the 4 potential challenges for Sheamus I was expecting the least, but you know, we don't really know a lot about the great Khali yet. Perhaps he's champion material. I think he was a former hardcore champion for a little while, but I guess we'll see if perhaps the European Championship is in his future as he gets this victory. What a stunning man. As we move towards our main event now, Triple H and John Cena one-on-one.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, from West Newbury, Massachusetts, weighing 240 pounds, John Cena.
Well, I do wonder what the future holds for John Cena at Over the Limit. Right now, he is currently penciled in for a last man standing match with Mark Henry. However, we've been told if he can defeat Triple H tonight, and perhaps even defeat JBL next week on SmackDown, should he beat Triple H here tonight, then we have been told that John Cena might very well have just earned Henry a shot as well. It's bittersweet for John Cena. He wants the World Heavyweight Championship, but he wants to be done with Mark Henry. Right now, he is scheduled for a last man standing match with Mark Henry at Over the Limit. However, if Cena is to win the next 2 matches he competes in, both him and Henry's match will be added to the current World Heavyweight Championship match between Triple H and JBL, making it a 4-way match for the World Heavyweight Championship instead.
Approaching the ring from Greenwich, Connecticut, weighing 244 pounds, the World Heavyweight Champion, Triple H.
We'll be getting an idea of how ready for the great Khali Sheamus is, as this Saturday, tomorrow night on Superstars, it has been confirmed that Sheamus will compete one-on-one with the man, I believe he ended the undefeated streak of. He'll be going one-on-one with Ryback. That should be a very interesting matchup. No, I think it was Undertaker that ended Sheamus, Ryback's undefeated streak. I think Sheamus was one of many who suffered a loss to Ryback, as a matter of fact. I could be very, very well off there with what I just said. But either way, that match is happening tomorrow night on Superstars in the main event, and you don't want to miss that. Sheamus and Ryback one-on-one. Sounds like a good time. Triple H proudly wears the World Heavyweight Championship. Will he for much longer? He went through hell and back to get to the position he is in right now, including a very, very grueling feud with Brock Lesnar, but unfortunately that is all behind him now, and sometimes I feel like the rise leads to a harder fall, and in Triple H's case, it was a very hard, very heavy pursuit of the World Heavyweight Championship. Does it come to an end with him losing his championship very quickly? Well, this is a very interesting matchup. As I say, these two were buddies last week on SmackDown, tag team partners, but unfortunately, no allies should really exist when you're the world champion, and Triple H is going to have to learn that the hard way in this one, as he is set to go one-on-one with John Cena. And John Cena is very much one of many that just wants a shot at what Triple H has got. It's all about Triple H's World Heavyweight Championship for everyone here on SmackDown, including one man who has been notably absent lately, and that is Damien Sandow. He has been informed that he has got tonight and then another 5 episodes of SmackDown to cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase, and if he doesn't do it by the end of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, he will be stripped of his Money in the Bank briefcase without having a single World Heavyweight Championship opportunity. I don't know what happened to this man. He has been completely MIA ever since losing his United States Championship to Dolph Ziggler at WrestleMania. There has been no comment, no catch-up, nothing. We don't know where Sandow is, what's going on in his mind. Perhaps he's waiting for that opportunity where he is just forgotten about enough by the World Heavyweight Champion, whoever that may be, or whatever that time might be. Perhaps Over the Limit could be that time. Damien Sandow has got that briefcase. He's waiting for the opportunity, but he is really carefully picking his spots, and I wonder if perhaps he's feeling a little bit too smart, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's got this idea in his head, and he can't wait to execute it to his idea of perfection. Perhaps he's getting a little too carried away with the idea, and at this point in time, he may actually be detrimenting himself instead, and costing himself in the long run. Can't help but wonder. Either way, John Cena, Triple H, two of the best here on SmackDown. Cena, a former WWE champion multiple times and a former Intercontinental champion, recently lost that title to Justin Gabriel with a little bit of help. Oh no, sorry, I believe he... did he lose? No. Is that right? No, because I'm pretty sure he helped... Yeah, that's right. He lost it to Justin Gabriel. And I believe that Mark Henry's involvement in a match had something to do with him losing it to some extent. The roles kind of reversed there. And fans kind of very much began to take the side of John Cena and forgive him, and you know, he got back to his roots and everything. But I suppose or was it Miz? It might have been Miz that helped him win the title. Man, I don't remember. So we're talking too long ago now. And on NXT, I think it was. It might have been Raw. Recently, one of the last 2 episodes I did like a couple days ago, I heard a fan go, "Pin him!" I'm pretty sure. I'm like 99% sure I just heard it again. Just one guy in the crowd just going, "Pin him!"
These competitors are giving it everything they have.
I love SmackDown. Not the WWE, not these competitors. I love SmackDown. That's the reason they're giving it everything they've got. All thanks to SmackDown.
The cerebral assassin showing how he is always dangerous. No one home for that one.
Burn him! I just keep hearing people say it now, I'm sure of it. I'm like losing my mind, or there is definitely some kind of fan participation where they just say pin him. That I have never noticed before. I mean, to be fair, when I did my first 2 years of 2K14 many years ago, I don't think I ever recorded any of it with headphones on. Or if I did, like, there were other people talking, so I wouldn't have noticed things as much. But, like, it's just me. It's gonna stay that way. This has been a good competitive matchup between these two. I've been told, by the way, that Undertaker and Kane, they're not out of contention yet for the World Tag Team Championships. We have been told that there will be another match next week. After Kane came up a little bit short, Heyman says perhaps there's a little bit of ring rust for Kane. Perhaps there's a little bit more motivation behind the idea of these two teaming up, and he really wants to see it happen. So the SmackDown general manager has enforced that next week on SmackDown, the Big Show will once again compete in a contenders match where he is basically defending a potential shot at the tag team championship. And we've been told that Big Show will be facing off against the man he attacked backstage, The Undertaker. And we've also been told that should Big Show be able to win this match too, then Paul Heyman will be a completely fair general manager in this sense. I mean, I don't agree with this at all, but he has said he will absolutely let Jericho not defend the tag team titles at Over the Limit. They will have the night off if he can beat Undertaker next week. We see an attitude adjustment here from John Cena coming up, and he got him. I'm going to say the World Heavyweight Champion Triple H, he's been looking real bad in this match. For some reason, he just doesn't seem to be able to get any control over Cena. Cena is really channeling that inner Super Cena that everyone talks about there, but it was a kick out. 6 minutes deep into this 20-minute time limit. And again, John Cena finds himself in control. Very quickly, he finds himself back in control. Bet him! I didn't hear one that time, I just wanted to say it.
And that's a stiff kick. Look at these two jockey for position.
Struggle back and forth. John Cena catches Triple H by the head with an elbow. There's something really petty feeling about a little elbow to the back of the head. I don't know how to explain it. It just feels like there's so much more you could do, and yet that's what you decided on. Well, I gotta say, the friendship that these two seem to have had last week in their tag team match against JBL and Mark Henry seems very much out the window right now. John Cena is absolutely not letting up on the World Heavyweight Champion Triple H. He has made it so clear to, I think, everyone watching. This man really wants to be World Heavyweight Champion.
And there's a hard shot delivered by the game.
The midsection there, and a little bit of a stare down there before John Cena once again lost control of this fight between him and Triple H. Cena now runs straight into a knee to the face, and then Triple H just kind of plopping him in that corner.
This is electric.
This is electric. Right hand across the face of John Cena, and Triple H is in control again. And he stomps out the arm. Triple H in control now with that spine buster. That's the telling sign that momentum has shifted in the World Heavyweight Champion's favor. But could it be not enough? Triple H now hooking up the arms of John Cena and drops him with a pedigree. Cena laid out as the champion won this one. No. That was quite a quick, decisive kick out by John Cena there. There wasn't really a whole lot of hesitance or struggle. Like, he got out of that very quick and easy. Cena going to try and force the champion of Triple H to submit. He's going to try and force the champion to Triple H. Is it going to be enough? I don't think so. I don't think John Cena is the type to tap. I mean, Triple H or John Cena really is the type to tap out. Cena quick to turn things around again, perhaps. Triple H dumps Cena over the ropes. Oh, nice reversal here by Cena. Rolls Triple H over into a pinfall. Ooh, very quick kick out. I'm telling you, things are getting heated in that ring right now. I can really feel it. I can feel the heat. Don't. Not this way. Not this way. There you go. Big strike to the back of Triple H, and now Cena caught into a belly-to-belly. Triple H dragging Cena away from the ropes, goes in for a... You know, Cena was about to get to his feet there, but he kind of almost allowed Triple H to go in for the pin once he realized that was going on. Kind of buy himself a bit more time. I respect that. Give yourself some time on the mat. Play possum. Let them think that they're in control to give yourself some breathing room. That was smart on Cena's part. Very smart.
I can't believe everything that's transpired thus far. It's been so physical.
I can't believe it's not butter.
Cena just one heartbeat.
First time I found that out, lost my mind.
Into the corner, hooks the leg, and Triple H refuses to stay down.
Uh-oh. Got those dueling "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks" chants going. Well, they didn't last very long.
A great reversal by Cena.
I can't believe everything that's transpired thus far.
It's
been
been
so
physical.
And there's the submission. This might be it.
Don't do it.
Man,
Not this way.
This is
No.
serious gut check time. And he breaks
Okay.
the hold. I guess he wants to try
I'll be very
something
upset if
else.
it ends with one of those submission holds. That's all. It can. I'll allow it, but I wouldn't be very happy with it.
Transpired thus far. It's been
Cena
so
once again, though. This could be it. Opportunistic as ever as he goes for that roll through, but Triple H kicks out.
the arm up. Triple H.
So these two are really fighting for everything they got. For Triple H, this is about making sure that he gets that one-on-one fight with JBL. And for John Cena, this is about getting a World Heavyweight Championship opportunity. No. While John Cena is one step closer to a potential World Heavyweight Championship opportunity, all he has to do now is defeat JBL next week on SmackDown. And here comes Mark Henry. Mark Henry cannot let this go. Even though Cena is technically earning him an opportunity at the same time. Mark Henry cannot let this die. He has got such a hatred for John Cena, and he had to take it out on him here tonight. As we are done with this episode of SmackDown, I'll see you guys tomorrow night on Superstars. As I mentioned before, you can see Sheamus face off against Ryback in the main event non-title as Sheamus gets ready for the great Khali next Sunday at Over the Limit. I'll see you guys tomorrow night on Superstars. Bye.